Bonjour, je m'appelle Fog Entertainment, Perdue, oui oui. Welcome back to the channel. We're back with some French entertainment here. It's the Daryl Dixon spin-off that everyone wanted. Not really, but we're in France. And this left a taste in my mouth like a pack of snails, like the French would eat.
How do you say in French, this show is shit? Because that is what we need to find out
I know.
over the next 6 episodes.
Holy shit means sacré bleu. So,
Sacré bleu.
Sacré bleu, this shit is boo.
No, come on. This show is garbage. All of a sudden, yeah, no, straight off the bat, I thought it was worse than Dead City.
Yep.
At least, I don't think Dead City was good or great or any. But I mean, at least Dead City felt a bit fresh and it was just enjoyable to watch. And I felt like the first episode was decent. I do think Dead City quickly went downhill, but at least it started okay. I mean, this just didn't start good. And to be fair, it didn't really get much better.
No.
You know, it's not like it got off to a slow start, but it got better. Got off to a slow start and just kind of got worse, like, if we're being completely honest. Not really interested in the whole France gimmick. I would rather them go to another country where the predominant language spoken is English. I mean, surely they could have done something in London, no, or England, or...
Yeah, I think to me that is far more interesting than what we're getting here.
I don't know, just Australia, anywhere. I don't know, France just doesn't really
South Africa, man, something. Like,
Russia.
Russia,
Mother
yeah.
Russia.
I look at France, right? And France just looks like, you know, Spain in there. Like, it just desert. I know it's not deserty, but it's like sands, countryside. It's everything we've seen before. Now, see when he's walking across, like, the viaduct, for example. The aqueduct, sorry. I mean, it's a cool visual, right? And I'm sure when we get to Paris, seeing the Eiffel Tower is going to look cool, right? In The Walking Dead. But come on. I think there's more to a show than looking at the Eiffel Tower. I mean, there's a pish Eiffel Tower in Vegas. I'm pretty sure Fear's already covered that, right? And for me, I think if you're going to actually do it in France, I would like to see the beginning. I think seeing the first couple of weeks, months of a city falling is better than this. Because what sets France apart here from America? Right, yes, they speak French, right? But we're 20 years in.
A lot of the scenery honestly looked like it could have been in America. It all looks the same now. It's all just dull, gloomy shit. It does. Everything The Walking Dead does now looks like a B film, like a sci-fi film. The budget always looks terrible. It does. It always looks like something you'd see on the Sci-Fi Channel, like a straight-to-DVD movie.
It does.
There's no, like, colours or interesting backgrounds. You know what? Give The Last of Us this. At least The Last of Us, I thought, from a visual standpoint, actually looked pretty good.
It did. And for me, this
like,
just...
Even when you see them walking through the cities in episode 2, it just looked vibrant. It was more colourful. The Walking Dead looks like shit. And what's the excuse? Because, I mean, The Last of Us was further on into the apocalypse in The Walking Dead.
See, The Walking Dead, though, doesn't have any flowers or nothing. It's all just the same overgrown
like
green.
Sand, grey, brown. That's the only colours they do. Like, when was the last time we seen something bright in The Walking fucking Dead? We don't, but look, we could sit here for half an hour talking about how shite the visuals
look.
But
the title of the episode did mean The Lost Soul, sorry, so... You know, Daryl, he's lost in a different country, amigo, you know.
Right, so we start, he's on a raft or some shit like this, an upside down boat, an overturned boat. He gets to the shore, and the first thing he does, he finds like this jug of water and he takes a big drink, and it's like, you've literally been at sea. How the fuck could you not have water? Now I get it, maybe the sea water's not as nice, not as tasty, but he was consuming this water as if he hadn't had any water.
Yeah, but if you drink salt water, you die. Like, if you drink too much of it. But I'm not saying he couldn't have had a sip, right? Because obviously people will survive that. But you can't just drink seawater and think you're going to be alright.
He could if you consume it in, like, decent amounts. I'm not saying he has to drink 8 pints a day.
No, he doesn't, but I just don't like Daryl Dixon as a lead. He's a very boring bastard to me, and this entire gimmick, he's like... Then he gets a recorder because he goes into a boat and he's like,
Steals the supplies.
I'm from the Commonwealth in America. It's like, what? This is never getting fucking relayed back to America?
So I think there's like some dad, some family man who's been leaving messages. So Daryl Dixon decides, fuck it, I'm going to take this tape.
I'm gonna copy over them.
I'm going to leave my own. I'm going to erase this guy's legacy and add my own. So that's what Daryl Dixon does. He then just starts walking and walking. I mean, that's kind of... I kind of got flashbacks to Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 when you just see Nick walking.
Yep. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
that looked way better in Fear. Cameras and this just look... Honestly, it looks like your TV's about to blow up.
No, it looks like the brightness...
The contrast or something's just dead.
The brightness is at the lowest it can go.
It's just, I don't know.
They need the Breaking Bad Mexican filter.
Someone is spying on Daryl, but we don't really get to see who. He then reaches some sort of... It's not a farm, but he reaches some sort of like land, and there's a woman and a man with a blindfold over his eyes. He doesn't really speak much French. He doesn't speak much English. Speaks a lot of French, but not much English. The woman says that they come in peace and that they will trade food for medical supplies. So it looks like Daryl Dixon's befriending this woman. But out of nowhere, two guys come, two army-looking dudes. I don't know if they're in the military or some group or whatever, but militia. But they look like two guys that are part of a group.
Yep, they do. They've got guns. They clearly, I mean, the vehicle they're driving suggests they're in some form of group. And yeah, they're not liking the fact that this Americano is in the French territory here of... I mean, where even are we at this point? I believe we're in Nantes.
I don't know.
That's how you pronounce it, like, so...
No comment. They kind of... I guess they want some supplies, but the woman... Do we even know her name?
I think her name is...
Martibel?
Maribel. I don't think that is her. There's just a... No, it's her.
Maribel. So yeah, Maribel is... She basically doesn't want to give them the supplies, and they get in a bit of a scuffle. Daryl Dixon then decides to, I don't know, kill one of them because he's got a gun placed at him, which I don't know if it was necessary or not. Then when the other one's about to shoot Daryl Dixon, Maribel comes and she hits him on the back of the head. We then see Daryl Dixon looking for his medic kit because I think the shotgun blast or whatever maybe affected him. I don't know if he got shot in the side of the head. I don't know.
There was blood all over him. I think I don't know what he was doing. He was trying to clear something up there.
And then the old guy with the blindfold just comes over, takes his blindfold off, and he hits Daryl Dixon over the back of the head with this like stick, the mallet kind of stick. Then we see Maribel. She stabs one of the soldiers in the head. Therefore, he can't turn. And they basically steal Daryl's shit. And they leave. So, I mean, it looks like they don't come in peace. They say they were nice people, but...
The great Daryl Dixon took out by an old man who's blind. Yeah, he's not really blind, but come on, man. Yeah,
so, I mean, these people, I guess they're not good people.
They're not good people. And Daryl then wakes up in a nunnery or something like that. And I think we've played this card a million times about the religious aspects.
Yeah, religious cult. So I don't think it started good, but this part I thought it was just extremely drawn
out. No, but let's be real, right? I'm not saying that you can't get these sort of people that survive, right? Because obviously in different cultures, etc., people hold these people to high regard. But realistically, man, we're 20 odd years in. You try to tell me this nunnery would still be at work and like wouldn't be took over? I mean, it looks like a pretty secure place. I mean, come on, like it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's got massive walls and a big, massive door that like takes about 27 people to open. But Daryl awakes here. He then gets his arm like burnt because guess what? Earlier on in the episode, he did go into a building.
Yeah, how the fuck have we glossed over this?
I don't know how we've glossed over it.
So he goes into a building, there's no walkers to be seen. We then see one walker hand appear, and then all of a sudden, Daryl Dixon is cornered by like 20 walkers. He does a good job of defending himself because at this point, he's an experienced pro. He's not going to die via a walker bite. You know, a walker isn't going to take down Daryl Dixon. But one of the walkers does place its hand on Daryl, and it seems to burn him. So I don't know if it's like some sort of acid walkers. But it left a really nasty mark here.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe because they're that old and they're decaying, like their skin, I can't, like the blood is becoming warm. like stomach acid or something. I know it was his hand, but I can't really think of anything else that would really produce this. Maybe this is a thing if they're like 20 years old or something. But here, it's the first time we've seen it, right? And I doubt it's a French thing. Surely this must be all over the world. I think so.
I'd agree, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the nunnery. That's why they are trying to burn the infection off his hand. But again, so what? If they didn't do this, are we led to believe Daryl would be turning right now?
Possibly.
Is this how the great Daryl Dixon would die? I'm not too sure, but eventually here another nun comes in by the name of Isabella. She bursts in. I'll say bursts in. She's wearing her nunnery clothes. Daryl's in the bath. She essentially gives Daryl, right, a bubble bath. Asks him about his scars, and he's like, that was my dad. Then he talks about his brother. I wish we got Merle scenes, but guess what? We didn't, right? We get no Merle scenes, and then he looks at her wrist, and he's like, here, you've got some secrets as well. I just can't really accept Daryl's the lead. It's funny, right? You look at who's left in the show by the end, like the original, and yeah, there's not many people who could carry a show by themselves, right? But see, Daryl, it's the name. It's the fact he's been around since day one. And he uses a crossbow. See, in terms
he's not that interesting of a character. He's really fucking not.
How much better would the dynamic of Merle be here? Imagine him getting on with these nuns. It'd be so... Daryl's just a depressing fuck. And I agree. If this was like season 1, 2, even 3 Daryl did agree, it would work a lot better than this. But for me, it's...
Daryl's been domesticated. He's a little bitch these days.
Is that... What was the guy said? Jacob Hale in season 4, he says to Daryl, I don't know what his character is, he's like, here, you can't make an outdoor cat become an indoor cat. And that's what you are, Daryl, you're outdoor. Remember he said that to him?
Oh, he's well and truly an indoor cat now.
He is, he's been eating that Rick milk for a fucking long time. At the Rick Bowl. The Rick Bowl, damn it. But yeah, what about the main leader guy? He looked like Brendan Rodgers, anyone knows who he is?
He did, aye. So basically, we see more of this militia crew. They are driving up the road. They come across not Sylvia, what's her name?
Maribel.
And
the old guy.
Yeah, the old guy who was called, oh god, I can't remember his name.
Old guy with the eye patch.
Talk shite till I find his name.
Old guy with the eye patch, we'll call him that, right? But you would hear this car coming a mile off. Bear in mind this is Apocalypse, right? So be very quiet. His name is Gilumani. Halloumi Fries, I don't know, that could be his name, right? But they're speaking back to these two. This guy's not really taking no for an answer. He was like, I need to know, man, he was my brother. I don't know, that's not really good French, but then he starts beating the guy up, and when he's like, is there a reward? See? I mean, imagine trying to talk with this guy as a reward.
I know, what an idiot, you know what I mean? You could be about to get killed here, and you're fucking trying to negotiate an award.
No, I genuinely think if he doesn't say this, he probably lets him live.
Yeah, and then he just bashes him over the head, I believe, kills him. So the leader of this new I don't know if they're new or not, but the leader of this militia group or whatever they are, this like army group, whatever, Condron just kills...
No, it's fine hard to believe, right? Back to Gilliamy and the other woman, right? Maribel. So we're like 20 odd years in, and what have these two been doing the entire time?
I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't really know their connection, but she didn't really seem that bothered.
Yeah, it's not like it's her uncle or dad.
Well, is it? I don't know. We don't know the connection. We don't know the
That's what I'm saying. She's not... Well, I mean, maybe it is, but to me it doesn't seem like she was that bothered, so therefore it probably wasn't a family member.
She said he's old, but she never said, oh, that's my dad, that's my uncle. So he gets killed, and then they say to Maribella, right, you're going to come with us because...
You need to tell us what the Americano is.
But she pinned all the blame on Daryl, but in reality, Daryl was kind of saving her, so...
Yep.
What a bitch. She then takes them back to the location where they killed them, and like one of them is still alive. It is Miguel, and that is Condron's brother. So Condron has to put him down, and this fuels anger inside him, and now he's like, right, I want to take out Daryl Dixon, the Americano. And they also see some flyers for the nuns, like, location, so that makes them believe that
it's funny that they're actually, like, openly just giving it their location here on fucking flyers.
So now he needs to track down the nuns, because that's where he thinks Daryl Dixon is. Meanwhile, the nuns, or the leader of the nuns, Isabella, tells Daryl that he needs to basically protect some kid. There's some kid at the nun place.
Laurent.
And I don't know why.
I don't like this kid.
She wants Daryl Dixon to take him to Paris or Marseille or...
It's not, it's across somewhere that's on the English Channel, man. North of France.
I mean...
Normandy, is it?
I believe the group's called the Union of Hope, the nun group. Anyway, why does he need to go? I thought at first it was because he was like he had a cure or something, but it turns out they're just like, no, he needs to be around all the kids. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
But it's like, oh, he can see stuff sort of gimmick. Well, he can see stuff. Is that what? And Daryl isn't really buying it at first, right? And you know what? Fair play to him. He's like, no, I'm not having this. But then, like, he completely has a hissy fit because they're keeping a walker alive, like in a prison. Or like in a prison cell. We've seen this a million times. Daryl's seen it. What the fuck, man? What's the bit?
Yeah, we've seen
this. No, but this is Daryl, right? Supposed to be like the original badass for the original group. We're supposed to believe that he feels a bit unfucking safe that there's a walker here. What is this, season 2 at the barn?
Why wouldn't he just be like, well, you've got it locked up. I don't give a shit what you do.
Yeah, it's almost like he goes up, packs his things, packs all these knives, like, all right, see ya.
Oh, you've got a walker. I'm leaving. It's
what?
like,
yeah.
So he then leaves. Well, it was the walker's like Father John or something like that. So
Father Jean.
So
just garbage, man. This was garbage. He decides to leave. They're like, no, you need to stay for Laurent. And Daryl's like, no, really. So Daryl is then leaving, but then he hears cars and trucks arriving, and it turns out that is Big Yoden. It is the Union of Hope crew, and they demand access to the nunnery, but the nun's like, here, we're praying, big man. He's like, not today or not amigo. He busts in. This guy looks more Russian than me than French, but hey, it is what it is. He then demands a complete search of the building, and then eventually, what does he find? He finds Father John, and then he like tells one of his lieutenants. He tells one of his lieutenants to put down Father John. There's a bit of hesitancy here because this guy used to go here with his family, but they must be long dead. He's like, do it, amigo, do it. So he does it, and then as soon as he kills Father John, Laurent, the wee kid who was hiding, is like, no, Father John, you just killed Father John, amigo. And then like, what the fuck's going on here? And then Daryl comes in.
Daryl comes back. Obviously, he must have felt guilty. He's seen this crew rock up at the nunnery. He kills one of them from behind. Then he runs, and what we got next, I thought, was fucking garbage. So basically, most of them chase down Daryl Dixon, but some of them run into the nuns, and the nuns have like armed themselves with knives and blades. But it's 5-on-3. The nuns have the numbers advantage, but I mean the three.
You don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, the other 3 guys have fucking guns, and like one of them shoots 2 of the nuns, and the other nuns charge at them and stab them. And it's like, we've got nuns fucking beating up people that are in like some sort of military group. I mean, it's just a bunch of women nuns beating up fucking, like full fighting army-sized men. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and it's not like here they got a stab wound in. Like, they literally killed 2 of them. I mean, if this is 1-on-5, right? And the guy can't kill all 5 before one of them gets to him, fair enough. But it's 3-on-5, for God's sake, man. To me, this is unforgivable. And then, even next, Daryl, like, takes the gun off one of the guys, kills him, and then the leader comes in, Jordan, whatever his name is. And he has the opportunity to shoot Daryl, but Daryl was able to, like, disarm him, which I thought was just poor. Daryl then managed to get like a shot into him, and then as Daryl's chasing him, like the old nun's like, no, Daryl, don't do it.
Don't kill him. No, not here. This is sacred ground.
He's just killed all your nuns. His crew's just wiped out half your nuns are lying dead. Well, why can't Daryl kill the main guy? He manages to escape. Daryl runs out of bullets, and then yeah, that's pretty much it for the Daryl arc, isn't it? Laurent is.
I just thought it was funny that these guys rocked up here trying to kill Daryl, and then in the end, it's Condron on his own running away, leaving.
Yeah, come on.
His whole fucking crew and army wiped out.
Well, is this the French saviours, man? They can just die. Then we cut to a cargo ship on the coast of France, just off the coast, and they're like, oh, some Americano escaped. Who was it? Dixon. And then we kind of see like a wee flashback of Daryl jumping off the boat. So turns out Daryl's jumped off this boat, and it must be what's led him to jump off the boat and then landing here in France. So why was he on a French boat to begin with? I guess we'll never really know this episode, because that's what the rest of the season's for. But you know what? There was a lot of scenes where Daryl wasn't in, and it was just people speaking French to each other. Yes, alright, there was subtitles, but come on, the fuck, man. That, to me, that's just a problem immediately.
Yeah,
like I get it. You need to develop other people, right? But
put it this way, I don't even like Daryl Dixon. So let's take Daryl Dixon aside. What characters are you interested in? For me, none.
None.
What characters? If I had to pick a couple, I'd say Codron was all right.
Yep.
And maybe Marabella.
Yep, but
other than those two,
do not care about the nunnery. Do not care about the kid.
I didn't care about the kid. Didn't care about any. I didn't care about the nunnery. I didn't care about the old man that was blind. Didn't care about the top nun, Isabella, the one that was trying to have dialogue and conversations and character development with Daryl. Didn't care about any of that. Didn't care about Miguel, his brother. Didn't care about the people who got introduced to at the end again. It looks like another group with a female leader, and it's like, right, okay, I get it. You know, wokeness. Like, why do all the men have to be? Like, I know this is totally off topic, but I watched Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City last night, and it's like all the male characters are portrayed as dumbasses. Yet the two female characters are like the super fucking heroes, like super strong heroines that take care of all the bad guys.
Even Wesker, I did it, man. Barry and Wesker. Leon's the worst in that, but that's for a different day. Leon, that's another French wee name, I guess.
Leon! But anyway, like that, I did not enjoy this show. I thought it was way worse than Dead City. I mean, Dead City, I thought declined big time after episode 1, but I still think Dead City at the end of 6 episodes will be way better than this. I'm going to give... What's that episode called again? L'amour Perdue. No, that's the season 1. Is it? Fuck it, I'm giving that 2 out of 10. That's what it is, L'amour Perdue, 2 out of 10 for me. Un deux.
It's not going to be a 3, it's going to be a do it from me too, guys. So anyway, it's a 2 out of 10. Until next time, I think it is the 14th, so stay tuned. We'll be back very soon, but till then, peace.